mourn something that we might get back, and it's an interesting point. And I'm not sure if anybody's thinking about that, but I was thinking people might be thinking about that. um, but the reason why is because this mourning idea is not the way that I think about mourning is different than sort of the stages of mourning and stages of grief, blah 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 blah. The reason why I have a problem with stage ideas is because there's a suggestion in the context of them that you go to this, you go to that, and you go to that, and you go to that, and then you're done. And if you end up back in this, then you failed and you're somehow doing it wrong. And so, although there's negotiation and anger and all that stuff in the process, certainly there are parts of the process like grief that could be described in that way. I'm not sure that's the best description for you, and I know that there's lots of times when it's not the best description for me. So I like to stay curious and stay more open to other possibilities in the context of grief and grief and mourning. The thing about when we take the time to look at why we're responding, oops, I got the wrong caption up. The reason why we're responding the way that we are, we have an opportunity to look at what we stand for, what matters to us. And so that becomes the difference between sort of your standard ways. You see how I all of a sudden became a doctor. It's a long, complicated story, the whole doctor thing. I mean, I guess when I'm a musician, I'm not a doctor. When I'm doing this, I am. But actually, legitimately, I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. So there is that. But so this notion that when we take the time to kind of look at what we're experiencing in the context of loss, that we can then think about what we stand for, what matters to us, also invites us into a position. See, this is why these ideas are so important to me, because we could go, oh, we're all upset about the same thing. We're all bumming that we can't hug people, and we're all, whatever. We could say that, but I find that to be a really, really closed kind of perspective, because the reasons why I'm missing being able to just go out and hang out with people are different than the reasons why other people are missing that. Just because I'm me and I'm not you. That's all. It's not that there's some huge, vast chasm between one person or another. No, it's just to honor the importance and the value of our distinctions. I don't want to highlight I'm different than you are because that makes me better than you. It's not anything like that. It's simply that because I'm me and you're you, that's why it's awesome, because our differences are part of what makes this whole thing so incredible in context of life and the world and living and everything. And so when we take a step back from those notions that suggest there's one understandable reason why everyone's upset, and go, I'm really interested in the things that I'm actually experiencing in terms of loss and why, and what that says about what I stand for, what I hold dear, what my hopes, dreams, and desires are, then it's in a context that's about my experience. And then I can also honor those same the answers to those same questions from other people, and think about that, the context of those other people, and honor that. And so then it becomes a process and a practice of honoring everyone's experience as a unique manifestation of who they are. And that piece of this larger kind of puzzle of everything that is humanity, that is, as I say in one of my songs, a tapestry, an intersecting, woven, amazing thing of all these specific threads. It's not just some mush of everybody thinking the same and being in the same place. So that's why, even though what we don't have access to now, many of the things we don't have access to now in terms of being able to hang out with each other, do some busking, play in the street, play in live performances, all these things will probably come back to us in some form or another. The fact that we're experiencing the loss of those things right now, and how we are, and what that says about what matters to us and what we stand for as particular people, is really important, and it's absolutely something that we can attend to in a way that's not undermined by the possibility that we might get these things back. So thinking about today, the idea of mourning and grief and loss as a response to what's going on right now in our world, and how our specific experience of that mourning and grief and loss is also a manifestation and emblematic of what we stand for, what matters to us, and what we hold dear. So that's that for today. Hope everybody's having a great day. And if you can't tell, it's very bright here in the, see that flare on my head? Northeastern United States, where we have snow on the ground, and it's very, very cold, but it's very, very beautiful because there's lots of sunlight and blue skies. So Hope everybody's having a great day. I'll be back tomorrow.